Hello, Dungeon Masters. Welcome along to our newest map-making time-lapse. I wanted to make another random encounter for my Storm Diver campaign that was just a simple fight. That led to me thinking about an unusual encounter for the desert, so it could stick with my players. I like it when they can tell the next tavern that they are in about something that happened to them to make some extra money or grow their legend a little. I decided on a kind of sarlacc pit, but with my own twist. In my setting, there is a species of large octopus that lives under the desert sands. It has an ambush hunting style, as it mimics an oasis with its open maw. It even has a flower look-alike growth that acts like a lure to herbivores if the water alone didn't tempt them within range. The sand octopus can sense the tremors of creatures in the earth. As creatures approach its well-selected hiding spot, usually in a funnel where people cannot easily miss them, it will fill its mouth with a thick saliva from a distance that looks like water. But it won't evaporate as quickly as water would in this environment. The creature then waits for something to get too close and then either grabs them with a tentacle and forces it into its mouth, or if the creature leans into its mouth to gather some of the liquid, it will just take a bite and suck them in like wet spaghetti. Now obviously this technique will work on low intelligence creatures and not your party. Well, someone in your party will surely see the signs that something's off. Right? Right? So some key things for a lower level party to notice would be the off-colour flowers, the fact that the water doesn't ripple with the wind, or the odd stones surrounding the odd-looking water pit. I mean, if all else fails and you don't want to one-shot one of your players, you could have one of them absent-mindedly stand on a tentacle whilst approaching the water, and describe it as squishy and lifelike to help them work it out. A higher level party that fails its checks should probably fall into the trap. Due to their level, they will likely survive the initial surprise bite or grab, making this encounter much more interesting. Speed will be required to save the consumed or restrained adventurer from the acidic stomach or colossal grip of the beast. You may think I'm much meaner to higher level parties, but this is the challenge they're ready for. This is the way. Feel free to use this idea how you like though, as you know your party best. So this map only took about 20 minutes to put together, and I love it when it only takes a little while to prep a map for a session, but it still be a high quality and interesting map. It took me significantly longer to come up with the idea for the map than to make it. Do you have the same issue where the core idea takes longer to create than all the other stages of preparation the session needs? I still had time to add some interesting details beyond the ambush itself, prickly pears and aloe for the party to gather for future crafting, alchemy or medicine checks. The party could dry and sell the collected herbs to vendors, that should earn them a little pocket money. Other than that, there are a few cacti to collect some water from if the party are desperate enough to gather some life-saving supplies. I also like to think the saliva gathered from defeating the monster will be edible. Just, a grim textured drink that you need to chew and taste slightly of seafood. The second surprise is that the saliva has a mild anesthetic, which will lead your players to not being able to talk for an hour after eating some. This could be disastrous for a mage that wants to cast spells with the semantic component. Mostly though, it will just be a funny side effect. So the main feature of this map is self-explanatory. I did manage to make some convincing teeth for my sand octopus by using the skeletal wand asset. Now, I know octopi have beaks, but I like the idea of all the teeth meeting in the centre and completely closing the gap, so it's a bit like a beak. So I've been calling this creature a desert octopus. But what would you name this creature? Drop a comment below with your suggestions. My suggestion would be a mirage cephalopod, if I was adding it to a bestiary, But, you know, it could just as easily be called a drinky sinky. So rather than giving you a description of the surrounding area, as it's quite basic, I will put the details of the creature here. Mirage Cephalopod. Appearance. The desert oasis octopus is a cunning and formidable predator. Native to the arid desert landscapes, it has a robust, elongated body with a diameter of about 30 feet. Its skin is sandy yellow, allowing it to blend seamlessly into the desert surroundings. The creature's head is bulbous and slightly translucent, revealing the shadowy outline of its brain and other vital organs. The octopus's eyes are small but incredibly sharp, capable of detecting movement from a great distance, and its tentacles can sense movement in the ground. On the note of tentacles, each desert octopus has 8. They are its primary tools for hunting and defense. Each tentacle is lined with rows of sharp, barbed suckers that can latch onto prey and inflict painful wounds. The tentacles are also incredibly strong, capable of grappling large creatures and constricting them with immense force. The most distinctive feature of the desert oasis octopus is its natural ability to mimic an oasis. It has several anglerfish-like lures that resemble off-color desert plants. To complete the illusion, the octopus fills its expansive mouth with a clear, viscous saliva that glistens in the sunlight, mimicking the appearance of small, shimmering pools of water. This deceptive tactic is highly effective in luring dehydrated animals and unwary travelers. So, if we were going to use this creature in D&D, it would have some abilities. So, as an example, it would have camouflage. You know, the desert oasis octopus can blend into the desert landscape, gaining an advantage on stealth checks made to hide. Deceptive lure. Creatures that approach the octopus's lures must succeed on a wisdom saving throw with a DC that you set, or be charmed, believing the lures are actual desert plants and the saliva is a real oasis. It would probably have grappling tentacles, so when a tentacle hits a target, it can initiate a grapple as a bonus action. The target must succeed on a strength saving throw, you set the DC, to escape. Saliva pool. The octopus can fill its mouth with a pool of saliva once, twice, 3 times a day. Creatures that drink or come into physical contact with the saliva must succeed on a dexterity saving throw, DC, whatever you set it to be, or be swallowed. Each turn the player remains swallowed, they will take 2d6 constriction damage and 2d6 acid damage. Obviously, feel free to change that damage. Weaknesses. I think it's always important to add weaknesses to your creatures. It makes them more balanced and means that by fighting them regularly or, having more than one fight with them means they have a bonus or an advantage next time. Because it's not perfectly made for the desert, it'll have fire sensitivity. Due to its reliance on the illusion of water, the desert oasis octopus is particularly vulnerable to fire. And the blurb would say something like, "This desert-dwelling predator is a master of deception and a perilous threat to those who traverse the sands. Its ability to create an enticing mirage makes it a unique and dangerous foe in any campaign." As always, please help me to make more videos for you. It's free and easy to do. Hit that like button and subscribe if you want more. Dropping a comment also helps push my videos to more games masters, so thank you for taking the time to do so. Let others know where to find this channel, and together we can help games masters make more immersive maps. If you wanted to support my content and channel, you can always hop over to my Patreon, details listed below. May the dice ever be in your favour. The desert oasis octopus is a cunning and formidable predator.